So Aaron Judge and Juan Soto are nearing 100 combined home runs, but left field in New York is completely cursed, and they might have just lost Nestor Cortez for the rest of the year. Fernando Tatis Jr. hit another baseball that has not landed yet. He's just a different dude when he's playing in Dodger Stadium. J-Ram, he is so close to having the sneakiest 40-40 season ever. A rookie for the Astros made not one, not two, not three, 4 errors in one of the worst defensive games I've ever seen. And the Braves, they're getting a lot of flack right now because of how they've handled their series versus the Mets. We'll talk about that later on because it's a mess. Don't forget, everyone, MLB Recap is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code Fuzzy if you're going to any concerts, baseball games, football games anytime soon. You save $20. And also, if you've never downloaded or played Underdog Fantasy, make sure that you guys download with my code Fuzzy. They'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. They'll give you this free Dak Prescott pick'em. All he has to do is show up. You're welcome. Nearly 20,000 White Sox fans are in attendance for this game because they want to see history. You heard that right. They want their team to lose their 121st game because if they're having an all-time bad season, they might as well be the worst team ever. Lenyn Sosa and Corey Lee, they want to make sure that does not happen. After Lenyn Sosa doubled, Corey Lee jolted out a 2-run home run. He was a monster back in the day in AAA when he was a Astros prospect, so hopefully he can get going. He has 2 home runs this week, and there goes their lead. Taylor Ward with a 2-run single off of Mike Soroka, who was nasty in relief. Those runs were not credited to him. They were given to the starter, Davis Martin. Soroka had 5 strikeouts over 2 1/3. Lenyn getting him and Corey Lee going is huge for the White Sox future. Lenyn Sosa is batting .375 with 3 home runs already in September. The Halos, they rallied in the 8th. They had runners everywhere. They got the bunt down. Stefanik, he ties it at 3-3. To extras we go. The Sox, they had a clean top of the 10th. So this is a walk-off for Benny Biceps. He has 20 extra base hits, 33 RBIs, his last 43 starts. There's 4 games left. The White Sox cannot lose once, otherwise they will be the worst team ever. Speaking of can't lose once, if Boston loses this game, they will officially be eliminated from the playoffs. They've won 4 in a row. They're fighting hard. Just unfortunately, Gausman and the Jays offense played spoiler. Vladdy and Kirk roped back-to-back doubles in the 4th. That's the first run allowed, by the way, by the rookie Richard Fitz. And I'm not talking about of the game. I'm talking about of his career. It took 4 starts for someone to finally score off that kid. There's another. Ernie had an RBI single. Kirk, he doubled their lead with a 2-run single. He's out trying for second base. He had 3 RBIs, though. That's pretty good. Gausman allowed 1 run over 6, and the rookie Jonathan Clase, he blasted off for his first big league home run. He had 12 home runs and 38 stolen bases in AAA, so he's got some tools. Boston, I gotta tip my cap to them. They shocked us all in the first half. I'm excited for what they can do in 2025 when they get back Lucas Giolito, Liam Hendricks. Maybe they call up Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer. They could be pretty good next year if they spend a little bit more money on top of that. The Padres are trying to improve to 9-1 over their last 10 games, and it's crazy that a W here would get them within 1 game of first place in the NL West. The Oscar put LA on the board first. He flared one just in front of Jackson Merrill. Xander, this is what you call throwing your bat at the baseball. Both Cease and Flaherty were in disbelief that they allowed those base hits to fall. The Padres, they grabbed another run on a Cronenworth grounder when Gavin Lux, the second half superhero, he tied it up. He has a 146 OPS plus in the second half. He's batting .291 with a .381 on base. Dylan Cease gave Ohtani multiple base runners, which is not smart at all because the Unicorn now has 124 RBIs. Fernando, my goodness, guess the distance. He missed 450 by 2 feet. His 21st of the season went 448 feet. Remember, he missed all of July and August. He would probably be approaching 40 home runs if he stayed healthy. Andy Pages, he wants to lead back, but Jackson Merrill, he got there. And Ohtani got his barrel to another baseball. He's looking like WBC Ohtani, where he's just hyped up every single game. He stole a base, so that's 56 bags. Michael Kopech with 101 to end it. That's his 6th save as a Dodger. I don't think that the Padres can now clinch the NL West, so throwing that out there. Now, we should have had a Mets and Braves game, but MLB and the Braves botched this royally, at least in my opinion, because Hurricane Helene, it's not like it just came out of nowhere. By the way, if you guys are in that area, please, please, please stay safe. But they knew that this was coming. They should have moved some games to earlier this week. Instead, there will be a doubleheader on Monday. The playoffs start Tuesday. Monday was supposed to be an off day. The reason why they're doing this? Ticket sales. I kid you not. The Braves did not want to forfeit ticket sales from a Braves and Mets series for the playoffs. MLB could have stepped in and overruled it, but they chose not to. In my opinion, this is a terrible look. Just throwing it out there. All right, guys, I lied to you apparently. So the Dodgers are 1 win away from clinching the division. I guess the Padres can still come back, whereas the Diamondbacks, they're simply trying to avoid being knocked out of the wild card. They're trying to avoid being swept by the Giants at the same time, and Gallen understood the assignment. That curveball from Gallen is nearly unhittable. The fastball, maybe not so much. That's an RBI 2-bagger for Ryan Fitzgerald. Conforto scores. Lourdes, there you go. He singled the other way, and that started a big-time rally. Gabriel Moreno with an RBI single up the gut. Corbin, oh, wow. Yaz got there. He caught it. Gino had to go back to third base, tag up. He scores. Moreno with his second RBI. That was a free RBI, a base is on a walk. Christian Walker, he makes it 5-1 for Zach Gallen, his second base hit of the night. 110 off the bat, by the way. Zach Gallen was masterful, and that might be an understatement. 1 hit over 5, 10 punch-outs. He ends his night with 11 strikeouts, going 6 innings, 2 base hits allowed. Pavin to the pool. Pavin Smith with another 3-run home run. He has 6 home runs and 19 RBIs his last 14 starts. So with this W, the Snakes are back to 1 game over the Braves for that 3rd and final wild card spot. The Twins are trying to pull a Braves in the AL and get back in the wild card, and a victory over Miami would get them back within 1 game of the Royals if the Royals lose. Jake Burger, did he just end the Twins season? This was a soul-snatching 3-run Burger bomb. Yikes. Trevor Larnach, buddy, you got to clutch up here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. He clutched up a liner up the middle to score. He makes it a 1-run game after 3. Byron, did he just pass Fernando Tatis? He did. He actually clears 450. Listen to his stats. Over his last 43 games, he's batting .331 with 29 extra base hits, 32 RBIs, and a 1.105 OPS. That is mythical. Of course, he's got elite defense as always. Derek Hill, I want to show this for Marlins fans. He's got some similar tools to Buxton, just doesn't have the consistency. He robbed Silos of extra bases. Miami, they were not done with the defense. Roy smoked a sac fly. Wait, it wasn't a sac fly because Conine, he dove, fired it back to second base, and back-picked Correa. No run score on that one, so it's still 3-3. Conine to Cronin, and Cronin threw it away. Minnesota, they used that as a jumping pad to go on and score a bunch as Correa, his RBI double the other way, put them up more. Carlos Santana was not happy at all. He had extra bases stolen from him earlier, so he saved the extra bases for this base-clearing screamer. That'll do it for this one. The Twins win 8-3. Let's see if the Royals lost. Actually, wait, real quick. Before we show the Royals game, I forgot to mention that Seattle is a half game back of Minnesota, so if Seattle wins and Kansas City loses, Minnesota will be 1 game back, and the Mariners will be a game and a half back. Houston, they already clinched, so maybe this was a foot off the gas sort of game. Bregman, he was taken out because they wanted to give him a standing. Oh, it could be his final regular season game in Houston. Yusei was as good as it gets, but some bad baseball in the 5th cost him big time. Justin Turner took over. That was a 2-run base hit. Moments later, he helped Kirby complete 6 innings with a sick diving stop. Kirby, by the way, has allowed 3 earned runs, only 1 walk. His final 3 starts of the year. Garv sauce. Mitch Garver finally showed up. He's still just batting .171, but that's his 14th home run of the year. Rookie Shea Whitcomb had one of the worst defensive days at third base, or even in Major League Baseball history I've ever seen. So he had an error earlier. Here's another as JP scores. Make it 3 errors. As a lifelong outfielder, I would hate to be an infielder. No way. No. Shea with his 4th error of the game for the first time since, I think, 2007. According to my research, I don't know if this is right or not, but it's the first time since Marco Scutaro that a player had 4 errors in 1 game. J-Rod, 3 consecutive 2020 seasons. He joins Bobby Witt Jr. as the only 2 guys to ever do that to begin a career. His first and second half stats need to be studied in a lab because for his career, J-Rod is only batting .264 with a .740 OPS in the first half. In the second half, he literally becomes Ken Griffey Jr., a .301 batting average with a .911 OPS in the second half after the All-Star break. Again, if the Royals lose, Minnesota and Seattle will both gain a game and be nipping at their heels, but for the 2nd straight game, the Kansas City staff was nails. Michael Massey, that's an RBI off the end of the bat. Lorenzen, I think that this was precautionary. He took himself after the game because he just came back from a hammy issue. Maybe he felt it tweak, but hopefully it didn't fully tweak. I feel like we've all had that where you feel it pinch like, oh no, I'm about to get a Charlie horse, and then it goes back to normal. But like I said though, Kansas City was nails again, and after a 2-run 6th inning, that was off the bat of Robbie Grossman. He was the guy who made it 3-zip. He plates Salvi and Yuli. 6 different Kansas City pitchers combined for 2 base hits over 9 innings. Michael Massey turned a beauty of a play. Same with Bobby Witt Jr. That defense never slumps. He's got 15 outs above average. Guys like him or Ellie De La Cruz are going to make errors from time to time, but they're both elite defenders, at least in my opinion, because sometimes the DRS can mess with you. Either way, Lucas Erceg has 13 saves. The Royals' magic number is down to 3. So the Twins won, the Mariners won, the Royals won. And what about the other teams in the wild card, the Tigers and the Orioles? We'll talk about the Orioles game after this one. Peter Parker Meadows. That's my nickname for this guy for the rest of his career. This kid has been a star since he came back from being demoted. He's 5th in center fielder F4 with 6 home runs, 5 stolen bases, and a near 140 WRC plus since he got re-promoted. Wencel Perez, 2-0 Tigers. Green, he flew around to score. Now it's 2-1 Tigers because Junior Caminero, he takes a hack every time he swings. No worries though, the Tigers got it back. Riley Green grabbed an RBI, and Spencer Torkelson, he was studying before the at-bat. He fouled off like 8 zillion pitches. 24 hours after Wencel Perez did the same thing, a huge 2-run base knock after a long at-bat. Torkelson with a 2-run bomb. He saw 25 pitches and 3 at-bats. He's been working. He also roped an RBI double in the 8th, and Dylan Dingler, he made it 7-1 for the other rookie. Which rookie? Jackson Jobe debut time. His family's in attendance. That's a ground out, so save that baseball, his first out. Then he allowed his first base hit. Yes, MLB hitters can catch 99 on the paint. He got his ground ball. Jose Caballero is a little bit too fast, so his mom was like, wait, he's safe. That's not a game-ending double play. Richie Palacios does fly out, so Jobe's first game is in the books. The Tigers are 29-11 since August 11th. Wow! The Orioles can't catch the Yankees for the East, but they can at least make Yankees fans worry heading into the playoffs because Cowser, he was blessed with a 2-run single. Left field in the Bronx might be the most cursed position in sports. Yankees fans swear it's because the Yankees did not give Brett Gardner a proper send-off. They just let him ride off into the sunset. There was no farewell tour, and ever since then, Gallo, Hicks, Benintendi, everyone has been terrible out there. Mountcastle makes it 3-0, and I know it's not all Marcus Stroman, but he's been awful in Yankee Stadium. At least Volpe showed up. He stays hot. It's 3-1 on the RBI one-bagger. Gunnar Henderson, he snatched it right back, and then some. He's got a 7-game hit streak. His third hit is a 2-run liner to center field. Marcus Stroman allowed 10 base hits, only 1 strikeout over 3 1/3. He has a 5.3 ERA in Yankee Stadium. Tony Taters, this ball should have been caught, in my opinion. Juan, he jumped a little bit too early. Then Colton Cowser got an RBI double thanks to Juan just straight up missing it. Now, at least Soto made up for it after this James McCann RBI single. Juan Soto has 41 home runs, 107 RBIs, making it 108 RBIs. The Yankees are down by 5. The captain did it again. I think that's a home run in 4 consecutive games. He's got 57 home runs. I said before the season that Judge and Soto were going to combine for 100 home runs. They have 98 right now. It just didn't mean anything because the Orioles have won 2 games in a row. I don't mean to rub it in. Oh, man, this is salt in the wound for Yankees fans. Nestor Cortez is going to the IL. He is going to the IL with an elbow flexor strain. He has 18 strikeouts, only 1 run allowed his last 15 innings. But 3 weeks ago, they kind of messed with his schedule. He was sent to the bullpen. He was pitching like his life depended on it. He was pitching angry. Was that it? Did he kind of empty the tank a little bit too soon in the season? Maybe the schedule change and the fact that his starts were kind of messed up. Did that cause this? I'm just speculating right now. I'm praying that Nestor is going to be okay and that he can come back in the playoffs because I love watching the guy pitch. So before the season, I predicted that Judge and Soto would have 100 home runs. One prediction I did not have for my own team, Steven Kwan having 14 home runs in 121 games. I expected the Gold Glove defense. Sure, he's been doing that, but he kind of beefed up over the offseason. He's a little bit thicker. Imagine if he becomes a 20 home run guy in the future. J-Ram, by the way, he was a single away from the cycle in this game. Here's the triple. This was a stand-up triple. Josh Naylor, he played a J-Ram soon after that. That's 108 RBIs for Josh Naylor. Cleveland, they went with the bullpen game, and dating back to the last game, they've set down 30 hitters in a row. They started this game with 6 perfect frames, and it was ruined on a bunt attempt. Now, a lot of fans, not even just Cleveland fans, they were booing TJ Friedel, and they were saying that's Bush League. You broke the secret rules of Major League Baseball. It was a 2-0 game. You got to field your position. That is fair play in my opinion. Then there was a bad pickoff. Then there was a bad throw from Anderson Minute. So it's now 2-1. Lane Thomas then booted a ball in the 8th. Third error in 2 innings for the Guardians. J-Ram, our sweet prince, he pimped a 3-run home run. He's got 38 home runs, 40 stolen bases. He is so close to becoming the first player in American League history to go 40-40-40. That's 40 home runs, 40 stolen bases, and 40 doubles. He's at 38 doubles, 38 home runs, 40 stolen bases. Class A, he made history. It wasn't easy. He loads the bases. Then there was a rocket to Rocchio. Ellie, he was just safe. France, he struck out. book it. Emmanuel's 47th save is a new Cleveland franchise record. He has a 0.61 ERA, and the Guardians are 92-67. The Phillies are looking for their MLB best 94th W, which actually would be tied with the Dodgers. It was a home run derby early on. Trey, he's got 20 home runs. He's one stolen base away from going 4 consecutive seasons of 2020. My friend Bryson did not hit a home run, but hey, a 2-run double, that'll play. He sprayed a ball the other way. Call your loved ones, check in on them, because Nick Castellanos just went yard. He has 23 home runs on the year, and by the way, since 2017, he's top 4 in extra bases for everyone in baseball. We have a brand new ball game. This time, Chicago is the one doing the home run stuff. A 3-run wall scraper for Nico Horner. Cody Clemens, he's coming into this at bat 0 for his last 12. It's not going to be 0 for his last 13. His 5th of the year. Brandon Marston added to that. He cleared them in the next frame with a 3-run double. He had 60 RBIs in 133 games last year. He has 60 RBIs in 132 games this year. He's basically that Spider-Man pointing meme. Nico, he did it again. Basically the exact same swing. Just unfortunately for Cubs fans, JT had 1 more RBI to score Bryson Stott. Austin Hayes with the web gem to end it, and yeah, that ends it. If Milwaukee loses, the Phillies will have just secured a first-round bye with the Dodgers. Jake Bauers with a perfect off of Luis Ortiz, nearly into the Allegheny River. Freddie Peralta was dicing early. He struck out the side in the second. He allowed just 1 base runner through the first 4 innings. Then he allowed a couple base runners in the 5th, and look at who put Pittsburgh up a run. Liover Peguero, a former top 100 prospect, one of my favorite prospects in baseball, honestly. He replaced Rowdy Tellez. Freddie, he's going to take the tough L, but at least he got to 200 strikeouts. So that's back-to-back seasons reaching that milestone. Luis Ortiz was amazing after that home run to Jake Bauers. Just 1 run, and then Aroldis Chapman, with the help, but also not help of Brian Reynolds. So Brian Reynolds botched it. Then he made up for it with a C to nab Willy Adames trying for second base. So with that L, the Phillies and the Dodgers have secured a bye to the division series, so they can just skip the wild card series. The A's are playing their second to last game in the Coliseum, and read the room, Wyatt Langford. Buddy, come on, man. Wyatt, he's gonna have a massive 2025 in my opinion. He's been the best left fielder in baseball over the last month and a half. Nate Lau and my buddy Daryl Hernandez, they traded RBI singles after that. By the way, Daryl hit 331 in AAA this year, so I'm hoping that he breaks out in 2025. El Bombe, he had one of the weirdest seasons in all of baseball this year. That was a meatball basically down the middle to give him 24 home runs, 83 RBIs, and 11 stolen bases. That's pretty good. But also, he's been pretty bad because he has a 223 batting average and a 283 on base. Jose Leclerc finished it off. There's only 1 game left in the Coliseum. If you're in the Oakland area, go to that game. That's history. The Cardinals scored 5 on the Rockies staff, and not a single ball left the yard, by the way. Rookie Thomas Saggese placed it perfectly. There was an aggressive save that scored Pedro Pais, but in my opinion, a good relay probably gets him at home. Brenton Doyle had a nice game. That is a great running grab, but it's still an RBI sac fly for Brendan Donovan. Tovar could not snag this Pedro Pais single, so Jordan Walker, he came around to score on the boot. Well, I don't know if I would call that a boot. That's still a nice attempt. Pais had another RBI after this Goldie sac fly, and I'm just praying that Goldie has a sick last 3 or 4 games, because he has a 94 OPS plus on the season. That would be the first time ever he's under a 115 OPS plus, let alone 100 OPS plus. There's that second RBI off the bat of Pedro Pais. Eric Fetty, he looked like White Sox Fetty, 10 strikeouts over 7. Brenton Doyle, I do want to show this. His 23rd home run set up a save opportunity, which sucks for me, a Guardians fan, because again, now it's a save op. They brought in Ryan Helsley, who threw 1 pitch. He got his 48th save on 1 pitch. They turned the double play, so he steals the MLB lead back from Clase A. He's got 48, so with that 48 save, he ties Trevor Rosenthal for the most saves in St. Louis history for a single season. A lot of history happening with closers this year. Well, everyone, that does it for yet another MLB recap. I hope that you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. These videos take so much effort. Subscribe if you're brand new. Enjoy the web gems, and have a great rest of your day. And again, if you're in the southern part of the United States, please stay safe.
This is a diving stop by McMahon. Throw to first.
Got 1 hit on the ground. Diving play, knocked down by Horner. Gets up, throws out. This will be a tough play. Correa charging, gloving, and got him.
Line drive left field, and a dive from Riley Green.
Slashes this one down right field, and a sliding catch.